Solar flash update for December 23rd, 2024. My friends, I feel very strongly that open contact and ascension is here. And 2025 is the year we will look back and realize that absolutely everything changed. To help us understand these completely, utterly multiverse changing events, we need to question our reality and then change it. I'm going to be going step by step through what I think open contact is going to look like as the new earth begins. So please stay for the entire video. If you like these videos, please go to thunderwizard.com, subscribe. It's the subscriptions that allows me to continue to do this work. You can also find my books at michaelwilliamdenny.com. All right, open contact. I'm very excited about this. Of course, I'm already experiencing open contact, but it's not going to stop with me. As my friends said, you are the first. I don't know if I was meaning me only, but I'm definitely among those who were first to have the kinds of experiences that I'm having, living in multiple dimensions at the same time, having continuous contact with higher dimensional beings. We're now getting ready to start moving up towards their dimension. First, let me just clear up a misunderstanding about the phrase open contact. The phrase open contact assumes that extraterrestrials are hiding from us. And, why don't they just come out and reveal themselves? Well, that comes from a misunderstanding of base reality. So they live, the extraterrestrials, they live in base reality, the truth. We are the ones that live in an altered frequency. We live in a self-contained three-dimensional ball. We think we're looking out into infinity, but we're not. We're looking into a little mirrored ball. We think we see everything that exists, but we're only seeing what is in our frequency of the third dimension. So the extraterrestrials aren't hiding. They're there. They're around us all the time. If we were to be able to shift up to a higher frequency, we would see the skies around Earth completely filled with all different kinds of extraterrestrial craft, all different kinds of beings. We would have direct access to gods and spirits. That's true reality. What's happening right now is the third dimension is completely, totally being deleted. It is coming apart. It is falling apart. But until that happens, we think that extraterrestrials need to come out of the shadows. No, we're the ones that need to shift up. We're the ones that need to come out of hiding. We are hiding in our third dimensional reality. We're hiding in our fear, in our attachments, in our greed. That's okay. That's what the third dimension is all about. It was created. That was the narrative of the third dimension. So we are going to be shifting out of that. And the events that are coming, they're already here. It's already here, by the way. It's already here. I've realized that once I saw what was happening with the drones. Now, when I first heard about the drones, I was like, maybe this is it, because I knew that what had to happen, or at least I sensed that what had to happen was there had to be a worldwide event that would make people start to think in ways they've never thought before. And this is what's happening. So we're going to get into that. And before I babble on, let's just go ahead and get started with that. So, Open Contact 2025, New Earth begins. Drones, UFOs, alien invasion intensifies. So what really pushed me over the edge to realize that this drone scenario is not something that's going to come and go, because that was the thing I was worried about. Are the drones going to appear and then disappear? Because if that's the case, then maybe it won't. I needed to know that the people behind this were fully committed to this psyop, and now I know that they are. They're fully committed to it. So, and what made me come to that realization was the soldier in the video that I uploaded yesterday. If you haven't seen it, go and watch the video I uploaded yesterday. And I was going to tell you, here's what's going to happen. And he ended up saying exactly what I knew was going to be the case. And that is that that politicians and the military and the government and mainstream media were going to focus on these drones, even though they're clearly military grade drones. Clearly they are. But the government doesn't know what they are, the Pentagon doesn't know what they are, and law enforcement, CIA, FBI, and the average person doesn't know what they are. They know that they're vehicles, they know that they're drones, but they also know that they're doing things that normal drones can't do. In fact, they have the ability to shut down civilian drones. They can't get them off the ground. They have the ability to do things like shut down electric grids and do kinds of weird things to people's electronics. So we know that the drones are doing this. And so it's obvious that that's happening. And we're pissed off at the government because they say we don't know what it is. Now they're telling the truth. They don't know what it is. There's a deeper level, super top secret. Those guys know what they're doing. And then they start giving you, well, we're looking for weapons of mass destruction. We're looking for nukes. It's coming from Iran. Oh, no, it's not. And so that's the official narrative, which makes people crazy because they know that somebody knows what's going on, obviously. The other side is we're seeing the UFOs. People are calling UFOs. They're conflating that term, which again is part of the PSYOP. UFO just means unidentified flying object. UFO doesn't mean extraterrestrial spacecraft. If you want to say extraterrestrial spacecraft, you can, and we know what you're talking about, but UFO could mean anything. It's something you look at, you don't know what it is, it's unidentified and it's flying and it's an object. But now we conflate it. And so people are making the distinction between drones and UFOs, which makes things even more confusing. Two people can say the word UFO, but they could not be talking about the same thing. It creates confusion and division. That's part of the PSYOP. And then we're seeing on TikTok and on X and on YouTube, we're seeing people with their cell phones going out and they are recording absolutely crazy things they're calling plasmoids. And we're seeing videos, I put one up in previous videos of what looks like a spaceship shooting something down. Pew, 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 something out of Star Wars. And that's why I said if things start to happen the way it would happen in a science fiction movie, it's a PSYOP. Because the people who create that don't understand what extraterrestrials are. Not really. Even if they have the craft, even if they have bodies, even if they have live ETs that they're holding somewhere, they still don't know what these beings are. They have no idea, no clue what they're dealing with. And so, anyway, I knew that this was coming, and when I saw and when I heard that soldier say that the military is releasing the drones and we're doing it so that we can engage with these UFOs and that aliens really exist, and he was saying we're going to have to vacate. He's thinking alien invasion. You can tell the guy's afraid. When I saw that, I knew. And now people are saying that's not real. No soldier would do that. I don't care. The fact of the matter is somebody is putting this rumor out. They want you to think that. They want you to not know. They want you to be afraid. And this is going to backfire. All right. So when I saw that, the point I was trying to make is when I saw that, I knew we are in it. It's over. Earth as you knew it is gone. You just don't realize it yet. We're at the beginning of a complete transformation. So the drones, UFO, alien invasion is going to intensify, is my prediction. Of course, I don't have any proof to back that up. This is my prediction. So the real UFO deep state disclosure occurs in January. So if what Dr. Greer is saying comes about the way he's saying it is, and he's been doing this disclosure for 30 years, and he's got whistleblowers, and again, it's just so annoying to me when on mainstream news we listen to David Grush and the other guys who are shills, or we get the people from the Air Force who aren't shills, who have seen these fake UFOs, fake extraterrestrial craft that are made by humans, but they don't know that. They've never seen that. And so they say, we don't have anything that can do that. This has to be from outside of our world. And so those guys, they're sincere, but they're not read into these projects. They don't know that they exist. It's very frustrating to hear that when there are something like 30 whistleblowers that we could be listening to and talking to, in Congress. But again, Congress, there's enough of the bad folks in there that they're keeping out the truth. But that's all going to come to an end. If these new revelations, these new disclosures come, that it sounds to me like they're going to be released on the internet in mass in a way that can't be edited or censored or withheld. And then when that gets out and the proof of that is released, everything is going to come crashing down. So we'll see. That is my prediction, and this is why when I heard that, when I saw the alien, the drone UFO shooting each other out of the sky, when I saw that, I said, "That's it. It's on." But then when I heard Dr. Greer say, very confidently that there's going to be a release of information that's going to take this whole thing down, and that he had proof, I knew that it was over. This is it. This is the beginning of the new creation of the new Earth. All right, so the real UFO deep state disclosure occurs in January. All conspiracies are revealed. Bear in mind, all of them. Because once you unpack fake alien abductions, human trafficking, how the reality behind the plutocracy, that there's a small group of something like 100 families who own trillions and trillions of dollars, who literally own all of the banks in the world and control everything, or are seeking to control everything. When that comes out, then guess what's going to continue to come out? All the stuff surrounding the pandemic and that's going to all come out. And even the people who don't believe in it are going to have the facts in front of them, and they're going to get so enraged they won't be able to deny it anymore. When the truth comes out about what's happening to the children, when the truth comes out about human trafficking, when the really ugly things about it come out, when the truth comes out that all of our wars have been faked, when that comes out, and it's not just a rumor, when it's not just some tinfoil hat, theory running around on Rumble, when it's absolutely undeniable, population is going to explode with rage at the plutocrats. Not to mention, let's see if I put it. Did I put it in there? Not to mention that when people become aware that we've had the technologies that they have in Star Wars and Star Trek, that we've had that since the 1950s for almost 100 years. When people become aware that you mean something the size of a matchbox that takes no fuel, that literally pulls energy out of the air and doesn't create any pollution, that something that small can power an entire city, and that we can have vehicles that don't require petroleum, we don't have to use electricity or coal or power plants, or we don't have to pay money to heat and cool our homes. We don't have to, it's all coming down. The entire economy is going to come crashing down. The entire thing is coming down. I don't know how long that's going to take, but I guarantee you, remember I said it, that is what's coming. And the good news is, we worry about the economic collapse, but the only reason to worry about it is if we don't have access to resources. Because bear in mind, the economy which, by the way, is a completely made up thing. We know this now. This is what's insane to me. I was just watching a video, people talking about how Bitcoin is, better than gold. Remember that Bitcoin is software. It doesn't exist. But even gold, as I've said many times, only has value if you and I agree it does. It doesn't have any ability to give you access to resources. So the truth is, we've been running around getting resources and hoarding. The down the street here, there's a Publix. That's what we have in Florida. Publix is the grocery store. It is a huge warehouse filled with, unbelievable amounts of food. Unbelievable. And we look at that and we say, well, money is what, without money, they had to have money to buy all that. Truth is, money doesn't exist. What happened is a bunch of people come together and they make food and they make a decision to put it into a box, the size of a city block, and people go in there and get it, but we have this idea that I have to pay for it. And what are you doing? You're giving money, maybe your dollar bills, maybe, but more than likely you're putting a piece of plastic against something and it goes ding, and then you walk out with your food. You haven't done anything. You haven't exchanged anything. We don't need money. Society can be exactly the way it is now without money. All people have to do is just decide, well, we've been doing it this whole time. Let's just go and get the food and harvest the grains and get the meat, and we create the electricity. Nothing needs to change. And once people are aware of that, and they realize that the idea of an economy, the idea of money, whether it's Bitcoin or gold or dollar bills or rubles, regardless of what it is, the whole idea of money creates enslavement. And once people are at that place where they're not willing to be enslaved, then people are going to stop using money. Now, the people who need to enslave others, they're going to be upset. But remember, they're the 1%. If that. It's all coming down. So all of the conspiracies are revealed. Global public outrage destroys the New World Order agenda. Disclosure creates curiosity in ETs, which will result in open contact. Again, open contact simply means you are open to contacting them. If you've done the live guided interdimensional meditation, you know that. You know that all you have to do is simply make the decision to imagine you're leaving Earth, send out the mental invitation. Are there any beings of light? Are there any extraterrestrials? Is there anybody out here that wants to talk to me? And boom, you get a connection. If you've done it and you haven't had a connection, just keep doing it and keep allowing yourself to be in that childlike state of innocence and openness and fantasy. And I guarantee you something will happen. And, those of you who are doing it and you feel those jolts, those intense, that's an electromagnetic jolt of a telepathic communication from a being in a higher dimension. So that's open contact. It's we who have to open up to it. They don't have to open up. They're already there. And they don't need to come down to our reality. In fact, many of them don't want to. Why would they? They live in bliss. Why do they want to come down to this craziness? We're the ones that have to be willing and open to move to a higher place. And then when we do that, we'll find out they've never been hidden. So open contact will come. It will come as a result of the dark forces are shoving down our throat that extraterrestrials exist. They're going out of their way to force you to believe it. They're trying to tell you that extraterrestrials are evil, but they're so lost in their narcissistic projection that they don't realize that people are going to go, wow, these beings exist? I want to talk to them. They're not like the actual, the narcissist plutocrats who are scared to death of what the ETs represent. They know they exist. They don't have any connection to them, not any real connection to them. Stealing their technology is one thing, but having a personal connection with them, they don't even know what that would mean. So they don't understand that by forcing people to accept the reality of extraterrestrials means that in itself is going to create the awakening, because people are going to start connecting on their own. Because open contact is an individual process. It's not fleets of spaceships landing in front of the White House and saying, "Take me to your leader," and that being filmed by CNN. That is not open contact. And that's not how it's going to happen. They don't give a crap. They don't look on the world and see, "Oh, there's a government and we need to talk to that person," and "Oh, there's just a peon human." They don't see that. They see souls. And souls that are open to communication, that's where they're gravitated to. Those are the people they want to talk to. Doesn't matter, if you're the president and you're open, great. They don't care. If you're just some, worker in a factory in some third world country, they don't care. So open contact will come. Because the truth is that, as we saw with the unaliving of the CEO, there wasn't this outrage about what that guy did. People are like, "Oh, so he was MK Ultra'd and he got rid of a bad person." Well, I wouldn't do that to somebody, but I'm not going to spend any time worrying about a guy who goes out of his way to deny people their health care that they've paid for. And they're like, "What? What is this? Why aren't you outraged about this?" Because people are already outraged about the fake housing crisis. They're already outraged about billions and, if you took all of the money that the United States has given to the Ukraine, if you took all that money and instead gave it to the citizens of the United States, there wouldn't be one homeless person, there wouldn't be one person without health care, there wouldn't be anybody. That was enough money to literally give everybody everything they need within the United States. And people know that. People aren't stupid. They're not as stupid as, the stupid people are the plutocrats. They're not stupid upstairs. They might have great minds, but emotionally they're complete idiots. Psychologically, they're complete morons. And so, anyway, you get where I'm going. This is what's going to happen. It's going to create the awakening. There's nothing that can stop it. Nothing. It's already happened. We just haven't. I mean, in the higher dimensions now, I get it. About 6 months ago, the light beings were telling me, you did it. We were doing these meditations, and they said, "You did it. It's over. You beat them." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, watch what happens. Watch what's going to happen. Because in truth, energetically, it's already happened. We did it. We beat them. It takes a little while to manifest in the third dimension, but it's over. And I can see that. I can see that more clearly than anything. There is nothing that's going to stop this. There's nothing that they'll do. Anything that they do is only going to bring it faster. There's no way around it. Oops, where am I? So after, where am I? Open contact. Oh, that's something else. Sorry, that was from yesterday. Where's my thing? Oh, it's right here. All right, so drones, UFO, okay, where am I? Global public outrage destroys the NW. Disclosure creates curiosity in ETs, which will explode into actual open individual contact. Mass awakening results, which shifts Earth completely. I've already talked to you about that. Everything we understand about the economy, how the world works, that's coming down. The moment that awakening happens, we're going to go, what is this money thing? What is this? What are we doing? This is ridiculous. Let's just get together and be humans and help each other. What's that? You're a farmer? Oh, what's that? You're a scientist? What's that? You're a healer? You're a musician? Well, let's just do our own thing, man. Oh, you want a house? Let's all get together, like the Amish do. Let's just go build that guy a house. I have 3 houses. You know what? I don't need one. You want mine? This is what's coming. This is what's coming. Even without, open interaction with higher dimensional beings. The higher dimensional beings aren't going to save us. We don't need anybody to save us. We can do it ourselves. We have everything we need to be happy and be healthy and loving and have the best society we could possibly imagine. We already have all of that. We just have to get over this need to feel trapped in an enslaved reality. And that's coming. How long it's going to take, I don't know, but I guarantee it's coming. I want to believe it's going to happen within my lifetime, and I think I can see the possibility of it. Come on, what are we doing here? All right, so mass awakening shifts Earth completely. Religion is replaced with spirituality. So that's something that I know for a fact is coming. That was the first thing that was shown to me. The light beings 2.5 years ago showed me that religion it has to go. Just like when you realize that money is made up, it's a made up concept. It doesn't really exist. It only exists because you and I agreed that it exists. So religion, there's all different kinds of religions on this planet. Some of them I like, some of them I don't. But even the ones that I like, those are going to be replaced by actual spiritual connection and experience. Once you have that, there's no more need for religion. So religion is something that we've used as third dimensional beings to remind us of higher dimensions. We sense, and there's a part of us that remembers that and senses that. But in the third dimension, our third dimensional minds don't have it, so we create religions to give us some hope, something to connect to, something that we can access, gives us an excuse to access our spirituality within third dimensional duality. That's going away. Religion's going to be gone. You'll look somebody in the face and you'll see God in them and they'll see God in you, and there won't be any what religion, what belief are you, because it'll be like science. It'll just be a fact. Earth shifts towards intergalactic inclusion. So again, this is the whole idea of open contact is something that ETs have to do. No, it isn't. And when we get to a reality where we are part of an intergalactic group of civilizations who all live in this beautiful reality, it'll be the same reality for them. It's not like you go to another planet and they'll have different beliefs, and they might be different species and they might have different customs, but when you talk about the soul and when you talk about spirit, everybody's going to be on the same wavelength. It's the same thing. Just like breathing air. I don't have to go and talk to somebody about, do you believe in air? It's something that we're all connected to. We don't even have to talk about it anymore. And so as a result of that, we're going to be in a place where ETs are going to come and go. And we'll be able to, I don't know when that'll happen, but it's going to be a two-way street. We'll be able to go visit them. They'll come visit us. There's a dimensional frequency thing that's going to have to figure itself out. Because, there's some places we won't be able to go if we're not at that frequency. So that's going to change. So the new Earth is about shifting up, and the shifting up is going to happen. I see it now. It's going to happen. There's no way around it. No way around it. And again, it's not going to be something hits us and we shift up. It's going to be once we start awakening to this. It's like, during the pandemic, if you remember, around 2020, I was completely part of the narrative. And I was telling people who were, talking smack about the and everything else. Remember that? And then there was that one off-label prescription medication that I had heard about and I knew was actually safer than aspirin. And when I heard mainstream media saying that this extremely safe award-winning medication was being talked about by like being poison and things like that, I knew that this was, you know, people were lying. And once I started opening that, everything came down, and then all of it, I saw all of it. That's what's going to happen to everybody. What happened to me is going to happen with everybody. But it will be, what happened to me over the past 2.5 years is what's going to happen to the whole world. And when that happens, you know, when we're all sharing the same consensus about reality, the frequency is going to shift up. It's hard now. It's hard for me now because I live in a world where there isn't a consensus. At this moment, I'm crazy. I'm a crazy guy. You know, how do you know you're talking to ETs? How do you know any of this is real? You know, that's where they're coming from. And there's more and more of you who've done the practice, and we're on the same wavelength. You know, I was talking with somebody today, and they're just describing, what would have been a crazy experience, and I'm like, yeah, that's exactly my experience, and we're on the same. We know the truth because we both experienced it individually. It's not because I convinced her into believing something. She had an experience, and boom, we're on the same wavelengths now. That's going to happen. You walk down the street, the guy next door is going to have an experience. He's going to have a open contact experience because he opened himself up to it. And then the next thing you know, down the street and blah, 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 so it's all coming. There's nothing that can stop it. It's just a question. It's not a question of if. It's just a question of when. And I think with these disclosures coming, the when is going to be very soon. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm very excited about this. It's more important now than ever to do these live guided interdimensional meditations. More than ever. So every Wednesday and Saturday at 8:30 p.m. show up to the channel. If you can't make it to the live stream, then you can go to the live section on my YouTube channel and watch one of the archived versions. And there you go. That's it, my friends. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Again, while we're still in this 3D economy thing, I'd appreciate it if you go to thunderwizard.com and subscribe, preferably at a level above free. So I recommend the Warrior 90-Day Lightning Qigong, and or go to the store, get yourself access to some of the practices that will help your body, you know, accept and experience these higher dimensional electromagnetic energies. That helps me, and it helps you, all that. If you want to support me directly, you can go to support.thunderwizard.com, and you'll see the gifts there that I give you in response to that. That's it for me, my friends. I love you all. Please take very good care of yourselves, and let's just get out the popcorn and watch the show because it's going to get real good. I'll see you soon.